The core or the heart of Imrandd is our ability to creatively solve problems, the persistent problems that the industry previously hasn't been able to address, really to push the next digital industrial revolution and to show how we can bring modern data science and solid discipline engineering to large physical asset management and really try and make a difference in the way that in the profitability and the management of these assets.
Data is the difference between reacting to problems and preventing them.
Alert's the latest software that's been developed by Imrandd that really changes the entire paradigm of how you manage the integrity of large physical assets. Alert monitors for threats and allows us to act before damage has occurred, essentially changing the way that we manage asset integrity from wholly lagging indicators to predominantly leading indicators.
Things which really drive that management are things which you can't see necessarily. You can't touch or smell or hear until something's actually gone wrong. And so you need to look at other data sources, and these data sources are not necessarily ones which come naturally to us. You would have to have hundreds of people at computers running these things all the time. Alert brings that all together into one place. It maps that data to the correct equipment, and then it runs those degradation models, and it flags up where there's issues.
Having leading insights into an asset's degradation allows our clients to address the operational issues and react before they escalate into critical concern.
Event-driven inspection and proactive integrity management, where you go after the causes of degradation, not the effects.
It's a complete paradigm shift in the way we manage assets.
We're always analysing data. What we see through our eyes is, after a fashion, data. And why would we not do the best we can with that in any given situation?
If you can't find that insight into the data, how are you managing your assets? And data science gives us that insight. It gives us the confidence in the governance of the assets, and it reassures us that we're doing the right thing, and we've explored every opportunity to make sure that we're doing the right thing when we manage these large plants that employ so many people and make sure that we're doing it in a safe and profitable way.
We find that our clients often struggle in understanding how the asset reacts to changes in process condition. This can lead to huge numbers of unnecessary trips offshore, and this all stems down to not having control on these leading indicators.
But by adding to our senses with data analysis, we can pull our understanding forward. We can get ahead of our assets rather than being behind it. This is why I like Alert, because you're seeing these changes. None of these individually look like a big deal. None of them individually you would be triggering any alarms. And yet, you put them all together and you get this massive spike. That's what Alert does, which other things so far don't do. It also tells you where is that spike happening.
Alert's groundbreaking because it moves you from inspecting for damage after it's occurred to monitoring process for threats that may cause damage to occur. So essentially it becomes predictive. So it allows you to see the future, effectively, if those conditions persist. But it allows you to model those process conditions as well and see whether you can affect some subtle changes in them that will actually have a big impact on the future of your asset.
An inspection inherently can only find stuff that's already happened. A defect might be tiny and it might be on hundreds of meters worth of asset. Rather than looking at what's happened, it's talking about what is going to happen, what is happening right now. And it can say, how fast is this likely to be happening? Where is it likely to be happening? And is anything changing? It stops being finding defects and it becomes validating your model.
This gives us such fantastic early warning that we can model our response, so it's the most cost-effective way forward. Because it's predictive, you can act before damage has occurred. And by monitoring for those events, we don't have to assume what's happening in the future or make a best estimate of what's happening in the future. We can monitor for those effects, and actually only when those events occur do we actually then go and make an intervention. So the interventions that we make are far more timely and far more cost-effective. It can prove just responsible ownership of these assets. It shows that you're actually doing everything you can to reduce risk to as low as reasonably practicable.
We treat pipework as a consumable, rather than saying, actually, this is our asset and we should be looking after it. Alert gives you the wherewithal to look after that asset and make sure that your one asset will last you for the entire time you need it. And so we can actually extend the life of equipment without ever having to look at costly shutdowns, costly replacements, etc.
So this is really one of the best solutions on the market at the moment to prove good governance of your assets. It could be utilities, particularly water, it could be drinks production, it could be pharmaceuticals. But anywhere where you have sensors giving an input that allow you to monitor those process changes, we can model those inputs and predict the effect.
It truly can be expanded to essentially anything.
We are continuously looking at ways to support our clients in making the most of their asset data, and Alert is a key driver on helping achieve this.
Imrandd, in essence, we aim to transform physical asset management and to help our clients achieve more and really drive the digital industrial revolution, because we have the skills, the drive, the people and the imagination to do so.
Is Alert a crystal ball of data?
Alert is not a crystal ball of data. You look into the crystal ball and you see the future. And that's all. That's all you get. You see a vision. You don't know where that vision's come from. You don't know how that vision might change if different things happen. You don't know how accurate is this vision. It comes to you, you see it, it's gone as well. Alert is none of these things. You see an answer come out of Alert and you can trace it back to exactly where it came from, the models used, the data that fed it. It's not gone. You can look back at it, you can interrogate it in different ways. It's not a one-off. You can also see how it might change if different things happen, how it is changing over time as new information becomes available. So no, Alert is not a crystal ball. It is a lot more than a crystal ball.